Alright, welcome back to the Dominate Gaming Dominion Tournament number 84. And we have the chat bands coming at you in a, well, what's the, not that button. Where's the, I had a button for just the thing. Oh well, I guess I'll just type it into the overlay after that. Is it a remix of the Tales of Fantasia soundtrack? No, that song is, the name of his people is Fear. It's from the Valkyrie Profile soundtrack. It was the theme that played in Brahms's castle. It looks like the first chat band is going to be Cassidon, followed by Urgot, Nidalee,
Oh, and Elise was banned before that.
oh, did she? Oh, I missed Elise, and Elise also. There you go.
So this team is not Clueless, it's the Clueless Empire.
Oh, Clueless Empire is Clueless, I don't care anymore. A team that has Half-Hearted on it, and Peoples and crew is Clueless. The name changes, I have given up. The other team is Cheese Enema. I don't care what they're on the roster as anymore.
They're actually Cheese Enema.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because Sifu Calvin and Brown Bruiser and Lurch and Krog, that's Cheese Enema to me. But they're missing a person. Exquisite? Oh, that's not fun to say. Exquisite.
If the chat could tell us if our voices are balanced, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. We tried a little bit to see if I can change it. Also, thank you, Darker Sticks, for the sub. You're cool, man. Also, be aware that the Caston band...
Yeah, they're saying I'm still pretty quiet, so...
Well, last time they said you were louder, and you're actually currently... I've changed the volume so that you're higher than me, but now you're lower. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't think I can really do anything.
I'll tap you up a bar. Rheingold, what kind of snake do you have?
I have a red-tailed boa.
Is that better, guys? Stream delay, it's like 12 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's pretty long, I think, right now.
So what were the chat bands? They were Elise, Urgot, Nid, Cass. Elise, Cass, Urgot, Nidalee. Is everybody ready for the Nidalee spam in blind pick when winter comes and we get Snow Leopard Nidalee?
I am just looking forward to Silent Night Sona. And oh my god, poor old Lulu. Oh my god, I think the only person in the entire world more excited than me is the mic.
That Lulu is going to be so happy. I know a lot of people are really happy with that skin. That's going to be a really cool one.
I'm really sad that people are already starting to pick up Lulu again, because for like an entire year, I was the only person who played her. I never saw another Lulu. Ever. Never saw another Lulu. And now everyone's going to be playing Lulu.
Okay, let me get the chat bands right this game. So there was Elise.
I thought for a second that Gnomesan was saying that I had the Southernest accent, and I was like, well, I know I have a really strong California accent, but I wouldn't call it actually Southern. But then I realized she wasn't talking about me.
Elise Cassidon.
I would say that my voice is much closer to being a Southern accent than to being Asian, though, and a lot of people think I'm Asian, so it wouldn't be the most insane thing for someone to say, I guess.
You know who I didn't know was Asian for like 6 months? Chobra. Had utterly no idea. And then one day he's like, yeah, I'm Korean, and I'm like, what? Cool. Didn't know that. Also HD StarCraft, no one knew he was Asian for a while. Get those American accents going, people just can't tell anymore.
Voice is OP. Anyway, we have some more bands. The Cinder band there, mad respect out of that one. Wukong Kazakh's brand Teemo, I don't like Teemo. I really don't like Teemo.
I don't think anyone likes Teemo.
I'm pretty sure no one likes Teemo.
I am not enjoy that champion. There we go. Caston, and the last one was Nidalee. Also, someone might want an update on it. We've been talking the last few tournaments about, hey, now that there are map-specific balance changes, should we change the bans back to 6? And there was a thread posted in the League of Legends Dominion forum. You guys can check it out there yourselves and vote on it. But it's looking like they're going to stay at 10. If you guys think otherwise, go ahead, go to that post your thoughts there, whether it should stay at 10, whether you should change it, however you think it should be handled. But let's see what you guys think, because it's because of the community that we changed the bans in the first place, so we want to make sure we're still doing the right thing for you, and we could really use your feedback in that thread as well. The consensus from the top-level players is that they still need those bans for the moment because the map-specific changes have not yet been extensive enough to make them feel comfortable with it. But this is one of those, maybe we'll have to wait and see sort of things. How many patches will it take before we're okay with the world again?
I feel like we still have about 4 champions that are completely permabanned. Like, never, ever, ever see play permabanned. Those being Kha'Zix, Wukong, Kassadin, and Nidalee. I know every now and then we see Kassadin, but those 4 are so close to permaban that sort of like the 10 bans.
I can't make these any smaller. Yes, I can. If you want to talk a little bit about just some general stuff about the picks while I resize these.
Drive and Leona. Drive and Leona are very scary together.
Yeah, you put Jarvan and Leo together, and you can basically box people in, get a stun going. Not really a problem at all to do that. I've been playing a lot of Leona recently. She's one of my favorite champs to play on this map because of just how tanky and awesome she is. And you get some CDR going on her, and Eclipse is up for days. They just changed Eclipse and made it even more powerful, which I don't know why they would do that, because that affects the balance here, like, so much. She's so much stronger here. I understand that this change was maybe more aimed at Summoner's Rift, but now she's just like, hey, let's just have the extra 20% armor and MR when Eclipse is up. Why not? In addition to the flat bonus. Sure, this is great. Huh? Then you put everything in the defense tree, which the mastery trees now are awesome. If you guys want to know about the new patch and what we think about the mastery tree changes and things like that, there's a Dominion breakdown on the Vato Clan YouTube channel that you can go check out that'll give you more information about that. But basically, defense is great, and defense tree all day, it's a really good tree to have, and there's a great talent in offense that heals you when you kill people, which is also very handy to have.
I will say that if there's one champion in the game that's good against Leona, it is 100% Janna. Janna is just absolute god mode against Leona in particular, because you can use your Tornado to block her Zenith Blade. She just won't finish it. She won't be able to get in range of you. You have your ult to make her go far away. And the same goes for Janna against Jarvan. Janna is really, really good against those 2 champions, and I like that pick a lot. And the Maokai is actually also going to help against having a ton of divers, because if they dive on you and they're diving into Vengeful Maelstrom, they're going to do 20% less damage.
It's the mount. I don't remember off the top of my head. Pandas Yay Panda in the chat asks, is there a Dominion meta? That's a little bit of a complicated question, but yes, sir, there absolutely is. Generally, you want durability and delay. You want delay more than anything. It all comes down to time management, whether you're tanky in order to get your ability to delay via a champion like J4, Mao, Mundo, Leona, Alistar, Amumu, other characters like that. You can build like tanky on Darius. That's one way of getting delay, and another way is playing champions that have a lot of range. Lux, Zyra, Cassiopeia has a lot of AoE ability too, that lingering AoE that can just pop on a tower and walk back. Everyone wants to delay. It's about, can I get to a tower? If I'm by myself, what do? Can I delay long enough for my allies to get there? Delaying is the most important thing, and this mode rewards characters that can waste enemies' time that much. I mean, assassins are great, like you saw Talon in the first game. I mean, he wastes time by blowing away the other guy's health, sending him back to base. But general meta is delay, 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 control points. And don't fight in vision, fight in the jungle. Those are like the two biggest things I could say.
Alright, so it looks like Baby Pop is having a little bit of an issue with the internet, and by a little bit, I mean his internet just died completely. So, you know, that qualifies maybe as a little bit of an issue, maybe as a pretty big issue, but looks like they're actually going to roll with a sub.
Yeah, they're going to bring in a Kuirim, and if I remember correctly, a Kuirim is Aish. What is the most important tower in Dominion? There we go. Sakuri's got it. At the moment, whichever one has the quest, and then one of the following two. Bottom lane or top lane. Windmill and bottom lane are both important, and they're both important at different times. If there's nothing going on the map, go up and try to get top. If top is way too tanked up, like let's say they have Teemo Zyra on that point, and they have Jarvan up there as well, do not push into that. That's way too much crowd control and way too many traps. Go down to where they're not. Go down and gank that bottom lane. Leave one or two people behind on your side of the map to defend your middle point. It just comes out to where the enemy is. But if you can aggressively gank bottom and not waste time, go down really quick, gank bottom, recall back, and rejoin your allies at top, then you can win games a lot based off of just that style of play alone. It's about staying in the jungle. Don't let them know where you're at. Move around. Make sure they don't have vision on you, and just look at who's where on the map. Are they set up too much top? Go bottom. Don't give them that advantage. Don't give them that defensive advantage. And there's a lot of people in the chat that can answer these questions too, so if there's something that I'm not able to answer, nope, they're still playing with invites and things like that, so I might not be able to answer everything while I'm talking, because if I'm getting the game or something, but we have a lot of top-level players in the chat that know a whole lot about this game. I saw I saw Fancy Wolf in here, I saw Half-Hearted in here, Dynov. Dynov is liable to troll you a little bit, though, so, you know, just keep that in mind. Sakuriona knows a lot, so does Eros. Those guys have played in tournaments before. Gormern, man, captain to double GP5s. They have numerous RP winning finishes under their belt. A lot of guys in here. And, oh, it looks like they did manage to get BB back. Now they're trying to determine the point at which BB DC'd for purposes of which bans and picks stay. Well, the bans will stay. But are the picks going to stay as well? We will see. Guys,
yeah,
remember to check that image.
Hiding real quick. The Ari was AFK randomed. So,
did the picks after that happen? That's usually what decides it.
The picks after it did happen, we're just trying to get it resolved. So, that'll happen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Are we meant to see screen... What, this thing with Lulu on it? Versedian? If you're asking, yes. Because otherwise it's the game screen, and you know, we leave that down in case the players say something interesting that we don't want necessarily on the stream.
Like, oh my god, we really hate the casters. The casters totally suck.
Oh man.
We wouldn't want you to see anyone saying that.
Yeah. I know Half-Hearted, though, in this game is one of my biggest casting critics. I talk to him a lot about what I can improve and stuff like that, because he's picky about how he likes his commentary in games. So I try to help him out.
All we're allowed to say is Half-Hearted is a god. That's the only thing we're allowed to say.
Half-Hearted is really good at this game.
Half-Hearted is really good at this game.
But, oh yeah, I don't know if I ever passed that info along to you, but if we can less focus on bans, more focus on picks is one of the most common bits of feedback that we get. So if we start getting behind on picks, or just drop the ban talk and go to that, is what most people say. And we're going back to the champion select screen. We're going to go back through the picks again here. Let's show the launcher back to you. I don't remember if they banned the same bans as not, but it doesn't matter as long as the same things are picked.
Yeah, they did actually go for the same bans, and I believe it was in the same order. And it looks like they are going to have to go with the Ahri. So the Ahri, they didn't want the Ahri. They're going to play with the Ahri. We'll see how it goes. Ahri is almost never seen, but she is extremely highly mobile.
Now, Ahri is played by only a couple of players. I know that Confidarius plays a very good Ahri. Mitsuru7 is like the go-to when you think of a good Ahri. And I know at least 2 other players, but their names are not jumping out at me right away. Ahri's a real solid champion with the taunt, so she's solid. Mitsuru7 is also Katya_7, is also sub-cutie. She has like 8 names. But be prepared for all the Ahris in blind pick when that skin comes out.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that skin. I was playing on PvE for a while because I wanted to see the Season 4 changes, and there were a lot of pop stars. It's a pretty good skin in-game.
Uberfetus asks, what are the strongest bot champions? It's hard to say who the strongest are. I think Urgot and Yorick are some of the most banned ones. Yorick not as much these days, and Urgot slips through occasionally. So Urgot, Yorick are historically the best. After a lot of changes, there's a lot more variety you can see down there. Off the top of my head, Diana and Gragas are good champs. Fizz is pretty solid. Mao as well, if you're looking to stall things out.
We actually saw Singed extremely effective in the first game. The build was Seraph's Embrace, Rylai's Thornmail, I think. And that's a lot of tankiness.
Oh, I'm aware, Uberfetus. Sometimes I just pronounce things. Thank you, but I prefer it my way. It's Uberfetus, he says in the chat.
You don't know how to say your own name. No, really, you don't know how to say your own name. Did BB Pop DC again?
No, not. Or did he? I mean, it's even in the lobby.
I feel like BB Pop just DC'd again.
Looks like, well, Wolfer's the one that ducked. Oh, it looks like it's Peoples this time that had the connection issue. The Q resets. I didn't think you could have Q resets in a custom. I'm glad that didn't make it into the thing.
Going back.
Alright. Sif of Calvin with the trash talk. And I quote, how much more time do you need to think your picks? Oh man.
Alright, so just getting a little bit of resolution here on internet issues. So we've sort of been doing a Q&A. Well, Gandair has sort of been doing a Q&A, but if you have any questions about anything, why don't you go ahead, post them in the chat, and we'll answer them. And by will answer them, I mean Gandair will probably answer them, but he's just that much cooler than me.
Yeah, I really want to see this game too, because Cheese Enema and Amputees are my 2 favorite teams to watch play. And being able to see Cheese Enema take on Clueless, this should be a really awesome game. If they could actually get their connections together. Trevor Cop, my evening is going great. Why is Pantheon banned so often? Says pistachio ice cream. That's
what a great name.
I think that's an awful flavor, but hey, if you like it, man, you can buy all of it that I don't want. Pantheon is banned a lot because he has global map presence with Grand Skyfall, brings a stun, and he's a good cleanup. Just a solid champion. Durable, but that map presence, that click-targeted stun, that cleanup, oh man, it's nice. Pantheon's a good champion to have. We see him pretty often in tournaments. Sometimes he gets banned, sometimes he gets picked, sometimes nothing happens. Who's a good champ that can carry games in solo queue, says Trumeg. Oh man, it's really hard to carry a game solo in Dominion, just because in Summoner's Rift the objective dies and stays dead. In this one, I mean, the objectives flip back and forth constantly. But
Nidalee.
Kha'Zix, Kassadin, and Nidalee are probably the most obnoxious champions to deal with. Just period.
Also, if you're a really good Jace player.
Oh yeah. Let's add Jace to that list too. Captain Keys, the people this game, we have Cheese Enema versus Clueless for this game. I'm getting Subway, guys. What should I get? You should get the club, add roast beef, and you should get it with lettuce, tomato, red onions, baby spinach, black olives, and you should get it with either chipotle or sweet onion dressing.
I'm actually a really huge fan of the sub that has cheese, lettuce, onion, and nothing else. Maybe you can put like some seasonings on it, but pretty much it's just cheese, lettuce, and onion, and it's really, really, really good.
Gandair, Arby's. No, Moloko, I can't afford Arby's. I'm saving up for some Black Friday shopping. The only thing that I've bought recently was I bought Hotline Miami for $2.50 on the Humble store. And Super Meat Boy is also $2.50 on the Humble store right now. So if you guys want to pick up either of those games, man, the deals. What are we talking about? Asks Kamenok. Well, a couple players have had
sandwiches.
Yeah, they've had some connection issues. So what we're doing is this is called filler. While you're waiting for the game to come back, this is a perfect time to subscribe since you don't have to be watching. $5 a month, support DD, get a little star next to your name. That'll be another icon at some point once we figure out what it is. But yeah, guys, Cyber Monday coming up, Black Friday. Get yourself some hardware. What I want for Black Friday, if I can afford it, I need to get a processor. I want to get a nice Cooler Master case, and I want to get a 150-foot Cat6 cable because I'm plugging my computer into my router from across the house. Let's see more questions. Oh, darn.
Yeah, they're talking, but they're not talking to us.
Oh, well.
I think they hate us, Gandair.
It might be. Shots fired. Looks like they have everyone in the lobby. I guess they're checking on a couple final things before we get going. We shall hopefully be shortly here. Aw, Sifu Calvin gave me a heart shape. Where am I from? I'm from Arizona, Mesa, Arizona. I haven't left the starting zone yet. I know there's like quests elsewhere, but it's really safe to grind here. The PvP isn't very common. Devil Joe, why don't we ever duo? I don't know. Just invite me to games. I usually take most random invites from people from in DD community, as long as it's not ARAM. I don't like ARAM at all. And if you want to play normal Dominion games, invite me. I have no guarantee I can always play, but if I'm able to, I'll accept. Doesn't matter what ELO you are. You can be high peoples, invite me into a game, and get me against Cheese Enema and watch me get stomped. Or you can be like really low ELO
like me.
And invite me to a game where I'm the only one on the team with Revive, and I'm really sad.
Okay, at least I take Revive.
But I'll play it. I'll play it anyway. I don't mind. I just like to play. And it looks like Half-Hearted's team is ready. If you don't like ARAM, do you like All for One? Yeah, I think All for One's cool. It's definitely cool.
I don't think playing Dominion makes you worse at Summoner's Rift at all. I think that taking time off of any one map will make you forget the meta of that map. It'll make you lose intuition from that map. If you play a ton of Dominion and you switch over to Summoner's Rift, you only play Summoner's Rift for a month. When you get back, yeah, you'll be worse at Dominion because you just don't remember the little intuition that, or not like the little intuition, but you don't remember those little details that you used to have really good intuition about.
Sifu, please. I can't believe that. It just happened. Oh dear, there was another game reset. But I think Rheingold's completely correct. I think that's definitely, the way you should think about it. If you spend a lot of time learning about objective control, jungle fighting, team comps, and things for Dominion, and you go over to Summoner's Rift, and maybe your last hit mechanics, they might not be as sharp. Your map sense of like your timings for when you get ganked and stuff from the jungle, not quite going to be as tight as they used to be potentially. And if you go from Summoner's Rift over to here, you might be a little bit too inclined to swing by the minions and clear those. Other little things like that, you might not remember to grab your vision item, just other little things. Overall, the two maps play pretty nice with each other. But Dominion teaches you a lot about team fighting, and I think that Summoner's Rift teaches you a ton about map awareness. If only we could combine those two into some sort of super game mode.
Like ARAM. No, just kidding.
I just gagged a little in my mind. I would love ARAM if it forcibly randomed you into a champion regardless of if you owned it or not, and you could random into as many copies of a champion. Like, I want to see like a team get 2 Sivers and have one guy be like, I don't even own Sivir. That would make me happy. Someone says magma chamber ? Magma chamber would be cool. Like, sure, why not? It's fine.
I'm trying to decide where. So if you wanted to put Dominion, Twisted Tree Line, and Summoner's Rift on a line, so that like one of them was a combination of the other two, I'm trying to decide where I would put it, and I think I actually couldn't. I think they're actually just like really close to an equilateral triangle.
It's a round table of games. All right, so we are back at the picks and bans screen. And we'll be going through these again, hopefully get into the game in just a moment. I think that we have, this might be the record for time spent at a lobby for a while.
Alright, but there was no Maokai ban, so we're good.
Yep. I can't believe that, because, so you go back into the game, right, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna click my champion, and you forget it's a ban, and then you just Sifu and team, they full on right there. They full on. Everyone wants me to accept business doggies invite. Yeah, dude, whatever. Let's do it. There you go, man. We cool now. I can't make that shout out on streams and and you know it. Alright, and now we're getting to the last picks here. There we go. Now let's see this next part go correctly.
So much anticipation, guys. We've been waiting like 15 minutes to see this pick.
Remember, guys, we do have a subscriber mode now. So if you want to give us a little bit of compensation for having to sit through all these ban shenanigans, go ahead and click that sub button. It's $5. It's 2/3 cheaper than World of Warcraft.
Swain.
Alright, Swain. A couple of trades getting made. Ooh,
That's
man.
a ton of AoE.
Sifu Jace. I like me some Sifu Jace. Guys, get your non-existent DG Blat Blat emote ready. And I'm pretty sure you have to have a channel-specific like pair of letters in front of it. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be like this. Like, I don't know if the DG is capital or lowercase. But I want the B's to be uppercase, so I want it to be like... I want it to be like that. I don't know if we can use percent symbols. I don't know if we can or not. I know we can't fit blat 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 though because it's too long by 2 letters. Wait, is it not prorated, Kamenok? For Europe? Is it €5 in Europe and 5 in the US? What if you got like a US PayPal somehow and like paid it that way?
Or you could just love us that much.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's €5. Man, they don't prorate it. That's a little goofy. But, I mean, I guess I disagree. But I guess they don't want to do the math because I mean it fluctuates. They'd have to like change it every month or something. You know?
Yeah.
So just leave it at $4.99. Yeah, that sucks about stuff that happens in Europe. All right, let's take the summoner blockers down now. I only have to click one button for it, guys. I almost clicked 2 buttons and did that, and that wouldn't have worked right. Oh, I put it back on by accident. Okay. Looking into this game, we're going to have Cheese Enema versus Clueless.
Clueless Empire.
Clueless Empire, yes. And I think we pretty much talked about picks, bans a little bit. Jace is great. He's one of the best characters on this map. He's also one of the most banned. Jace, thankfully, is killable, but he will roll down and blat, blat, blat your whole team. So if Jace does pull off... Now, the blat, blat, blat combo is when he gets his triple crit, 3 crits in a row, and just completely destroys someone. If we see that, I want to see I want to see. This is official until Feedski says otherwise. It's gonna be DG Blat Blat. There we go. DG Blat Blat, because we can't fit the extra blat in. Alright, and Maokai, really sustainable, difficult to unseat from towers. Janna's a very good support. There's some support changes recently that make her damage build a little bit less attractive than it used to be, but it makes her supporting awesome still. We're seeing Singe, good dive, AoE damage, great delay. And we're adding the icons whenever they get approved. It could take a while, guys. Just be aware that it could take a while. We're seeing Half-Hard on Ahri. Seen Half-Hard Ahri play a couple times, but he's just not as common of an Ahri. And we're seeing... I like Leona Vayne a lot.
That the picks are a little bit skewed right now for Clueless Empire, because the Ahri was randomed and the Vayne was supposed to be for BB Pop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Peoples playing Vayne instead. He also plays Vayne, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Peoples has a very large champ roster. If he doesn't play it great, then he plays okay enough to not feed, hopefully. I mean, he's taken champions into, like, this is the first time I've used it in a tournament and done just fine. I have full faith in High People's ability. And Half-Hearted, I know, has played some Ahri. There you go. So, hopefully it'll turn out well. It might turn out awful.
Clairvoyance from either team. No clairvoyances.
Since this VOD's already messed up, I want to remind you that on the bottom right of this, guys, is if Clueless loses a game. I didn't think this would actually happen, but now it's definitely something that could occur. This also gets my vote for worst VOD I've ever made, because of all of the resets. This game that we are going to be going into, let me turn off that overlay here, is going to be Cheese Enema versus Clueless. We have Brown Bruiser playing as Pantheon, Lurch playing as Maokai, Exquisite playing as Janna, Krog playing as Singed, and Sifu Calvin playing as Jace. They are Cheese Enema. And on the other team
is Clueless Empire, aka Clueless. It is Half-Hearted playing Ahri, Commit Emperor, High People's playing Vayne, Sauron on Swain, nice alliteration there, Akarim as Jarvan the Fourth, and Wolfer as Leona. I'm RheingoldRiver, and casting with me is
Gandair of the gaming clan, Vato clan, and I'm really happy to be able to commentate this game because Cheese Enema is like my favorite team. And my friend was learning bottom lane, and we queued into that Cheese Enema team that you see there because we were queued with Gormer, and so it skewed the ELO. And my friend's like, "Hey man, yeah, I'm gonna start learning Diana," and then he goes down there, and it's like, "Oh, I'm against Lurch," and then he got destroyed. But it was still really fun to play anyway. So starting off the game here, I'm going to correctly apply the overlay to the thing, ta-da, and turn on KDA.
Hey, I remember to turn on KDA, and I'm not even streaming.
Whoa. I'm even going to put the names in the top.
I didn't do that, even though because I'm not streaming. DominateDominion number 73 was the single best DominateDominion that Gandair and I have ever casted. It's the single best DominateDominion I've ever casted. Gandair said it was one of the best ones that he's ever casted, and he's been doing this for a lot longer.
Yeah, it's definitely top 3. What happened is Twitch changed the way that their videos get archived, and as a result, we lost that entire stream.
Lost the entire thing. It was the best DominateDominion.
Like, it is absolutely one of the best ones.
It was amazing. Every single game was amazing, and it had like 2 of the best games that I've ever seen, let alone just like overall average quality. It was so good. It was so good.
And that Jace moment where he just blasted them he blasted that poor Caitlyn for 13 and change. Oh man. Cheese Enema's tag is NMUH, and Clueless's tag is actually what? It's lowercase WUT.
Oh, I like that. I was calling them Clue, and I wanted to do Clue with a strike through it, but that was just too difficult to set up.
Yeah, it's what? No, the LOL Pro things were 67 and 83.
If
When those
only
happened.
73 was LOL Pro.
73, man, that was great. Yeah, here's what happened. Twitch disabled the automatic archiving of broadcasts. Like, they wouldn't save by default. So what you had to do is you had to manually log into your channel. You had to click the video, you had to click save forever.
And you have a week to do it.
Yes. Well, we assumed that we had the option toggled where we didn't have to do that because they used to have that. We wouldn't have to go in and click save forever and the videos would just stay there because that's the way we had it configured in the settings. And then all of a sudden, they changed it, and no one told me, or no one knew, rather, that they had changed it. Like, we didn't get any notification or anything. If anyone did, like me and Gorman didn't know, other stuff like that. So when we went to, when I went to actually make the VODs by pulling them down from that archive and then converting them to put to YouTube, they weren't there. And after some investigating, we discovered that that was why, because Twitch had disabled that, and we have to manually add each video, and we didn't know. So,
Alright, so Wolfer going
it.
aggro immediately. He has that shield, the relic runic shield from the Masteries, but his people's coming in from the side, getting all of that Vayne damage down. Silver will proc there. Wolfer in the middle of everyone. No one wants to waste cooldowns on him because he's a Leona. Archeum going in with the EQ. Gonna drop there to Jace, so first blood goes over to Jace. Charm on to Seafood Calvin also, and the Orb of Deception comes across being very deceiving. Wolfer actually should be able to pick up this. Oh, the shield from Janna might be enough to keep him alive for a little bit. It's actually going to be enough to keep him alive all the way. Both Jarvan and Vayne are reviving right now. Wolfer gets the health pack, manages to pick it up himself. Very nice disadvance, manages to dodge the charm out of half-hearted. And Wolfer with the Eve going back in. Lurch might drop here. The Orb of Deception does not reach quite far enough, though. And it is a free windmill there for Cheese Enema.
Cheese Enema is a team that has historically done very good in the early game. And that's where they get most of their wins at against the other top teams. Cheese Enema, ties up there. They're definitely in the top 4 of Dominion teams. And their big wins are always within the first 15 minutes. When it goes on beyond that, though, they start not doing so well. So they're off to a very good start so far. Let's see if they can keep that pressure up. Both Akurum and Brown Bruiser are hanging out here to try and catch somebody else. And Wolfer and Brown Bruiser are going to walk in and see each other and say, hey, that's not a good idea. Let's not fight there. We have Jen and Vayne up at the top part of the map. And we have Sauron and Krog hanging out at the bottom. So the bottom is under control. They have eyes on that. Top is under control. They have someone pressuring. They have someone defending. Point does go neutral due to minions.
Yeah, Janna has
now.
almost no wave clear. It's actually one of her biggest weaknesses is her lack of wave clear until she can one-shot the wave with her Q. But as long as she can't one-shot wave with Q, her wave clear is actually really, really subpar. And we saw that coming into play just there. Arkham gonna get exhausted, gonna go down. Wolfer living for as long as he can, which isn't all that long. And it looks like Peoples is actually gonna have to recall, so the windmill will be safe for now.
Very good control by Sifu Calvin's Jace, hanging out in the back of the fight, being able to get good shots off, switching the focus over to J4 when he dived through. Good showing by them. They're going to be able to hold on to the top point. And bottom's going to be neutral by Krog as well. Things not going so well for Clueless this early in the game.
Yeah, not going that well at all. Keep in mind that Peoples is playing Vayne. Vayne is one of the worst early game champions, one of the best late game champions. But if Enema continues this...
Exquisite being found by the Speed Shrine, almost completely destroyed. That's a good ambush point at any ELO, is to hang out there. Get a couple people with crowd controls in there, and that's good times for you and your allies. Half hard, though, taking a lot of damage. Spirit Rush on back. We see the check with the standard from J4 to make sure there's no one hanging out. Brown Bruiser gonna be caught down here. Taunt. Everything bad happens to him at once. Brown Bruiser tries to get away, but they use the Cataclysm to take him down. Now they have that on cooldown.
Yeah, so Cataclysm actually a pretty huge cooldown to not have available, especially when you want to keep someone inside of... Oh, the Zenith Blade actually does land there. There's the EQ from Jarvan. Solarflare going to come down and hit both, even if not for the stun. Still provides the Sunlight proc to the rest of the team. Peoples with 1 kill onto Jen, and Wolfer on the wrong side of the point, but I think he's going to be just okay there. Actually, no, he's going to go down and scratch that. And it's a double kill for Jace. People's now running away from Jace. Gonna kite this one a little bit. Knows third Silverbolt's proc. He needs to be more careful of Pantheon right now than anything else in the entire world because Pantheon can kill him very, very dead. He has the Condemn though, so I think he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, once that Condemn came off cooldown, that's one of the reasons that Sifu Calvin's Jace probably broke off. It's because Hasn't condemned me. Oh, caught him before the tumble. Stun carried over after. They don't think they can get in range, though. Sauron is going to move up and intercept, keeping peoples alive.
But the Grievous Wounds hurts a lot. Grievous Wounds does expire. And Brown Bruiser overdiving just a little bit. He's actually probably going to go down here. Ari with the Orb of Deception, with the Orb of Killing You.
And this Janna Jace combo is pretty good so far for their team. Being able to keep that shield around, really giving Jace some staying power where he otherwise wouldn't have it.
Yeah, and it was very nice rotation to allow people to live there. The never move never permitted them to move. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Sometimes I start saying things assuming I'll be able to think of a pun.
In the middle of the map is going to get away. Nope. Charm has landed. Airborne has landed. Exquisite, can he get out? Uses the Airborne, starts retreating back towards Sifu. Is going to be taken down. Sifu not able to save his Janna ally there.
Yeah, so Janna is typically really, really good at living, but if her ult is down, her survivability decreases by, I'd say about 70%. She can escape from 30% as many situations without ult as she can with ult. If she had ult there, she would have been fine, but didn't there. And Sin's just going to proxy his waves.
Yeah, that's something you can do on Dominion. It's good at stalemating. Lurch and Sifu putting a lot of work in on the Kurim, and J4 is going to go down, get a good stun in on Half-Hard. Not a lot of damage following it up, unfortunately. Sifu Calvin is taken out. Half-Hard just moving around the fight, contributing damage into it. Brown Bruiser and Lurch low on health. Exquisite getting there as fast as possible, puts down the shield on his ally. They start following up, chasing away Half-Hearted.
Oh, no! No! Wolfram, why did you do it?
Oh, dear.
So he took the health away
Yep.
from Half-Hearted there.
And you want to make sure the low hit point guy gets it because of exactly what you just saw. And Half-Hard now putting the airborne, getting the airborne put on him by Lurch. Kurim back in the
Lurch
fight.
has no mana.
Jace with the knockback, but they're really low on mana.
Yeah, so Charm going to allow that one to happen. There's the ult out of Janna, but it didn't send Half-Hearted too far away. It was enough to survive, so...
Krog, what are you doing? That's bad. Oh, dear. Is Krog going to be able to escape from the situation he's got himself into? He is singed, but Vayne deals true damage.
Yeah, Vayne does deal true damage, and he is now truly dead. Brown Bruiser also dead. It's a double kill for Peoples. He's going to get the Storm Shield also. In top lane, I feel like Dryven's going to be able to duel Janna pretty effectively.
And Janna will be able to keep that tower neutral for quite a long time. She's a really good delay champion with her long range and high movement speed.
Janna is almost as annoying as Teemo, but I still don't hate her as much as I hate Teemo.
Nobody likes Teemo.
No one likes Teemo.
Exquisite retreating, not able to get the kill against him. Able to escape at low health. Sifu is back, has a little bit of mana going for him. Trying to decide who he's going to fire at. Pantheon going to come down in the middle of this fight. Who is he going to put that stun for? Goes for... I actually didn't see if he landed the Aegis on anyone.
That was a great body block, actually, by Maokai, so that the Charm didn't hit onto Janna. Lurch does finally go down. Charm whiffs there a little bit. And Wolfer and Half-Hearted both extremely low. No more ult out of Ari. And there is the W from Stephen Calvin. There's the kill. Oh, nice knock up onto Leona. It's 1-for-1 there.
Get the lowercase blat 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 from Sifu there against Half-Hearted. And they're going to take back the tower, but they are at extremely low health with people coming up to the top. Brown Bruiser, someone needs to stay up here or they just need to give it up. Brown Bruiser really can't do a lot to delay other than just be a suggestion. Now with Janna and Jace, they're both fast champions. They might get there in time to get it neutral, but it doesn't look good for that windmill. They're actually not pushing it right now. It looks like they're going to send just Vayne up there to take care of it while the rest of their team is going to try to secure map control. Stun on Exquisite. Nothing else lands. Yeah,
a lot of skill shots were just dodged there by both teams, actually. And as Wolford going in gets knocked up by Leona, stunned by Pantheon. Half-Hearted flanking from the bottom. He does not have Spirit Rush right now, though, so that's a massive amount of power that he's actually missing out on.
And Half-Hearted down on the lower end of the fight. If something breaks out now, it'll be a few seconds before he can catch up. Shock Blast on Wolfer's Leona. Put the stun on Exquisite, but there's no follow-up damage, even though he was able to stun. Oh, the taunt doesn't land either. Crowd control not going so well for them at the moment.
And meanwhile, it's People's just in the top trying to farm the creep wave while his team delays. There's the final hour finally popped. Can he get the condemn down? There's the nice ult from Exquisite splitting everyone up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's Cataclysm going down onto Pantheon. He does manage to get his pass off on a little bit, but his Peoples with the damage, and Peoples is pretty much free to do whatever he wants right now. Charm does land onto Lurch, Orb of Deception across. Spirit Rush forward that did come back up for Half-Hearted. It's a double kill for Ari. And that's going to be the windmill.
In that engagement, Sifu, his last shots were taken at Half-Hearted's Ari when Akuririm's J4 was extremely low on health and in range. It's interesting choice in targets there. Sauron in the bottom lane, keeping minions pushed up against Krog. These are two champions that have really good wave clear and really good sustain. So unless ganks go on down there, we might not see a lot going around. Now the blat thing is when Jace gets a triple crit with his attack speed, damage boost, what's it called? Hypercharge. Yeah, when he gets the 3 crits, it's a blat. But since we're gonna change the name to that though, it's gonna be DG blat with 2 capital B's in it, everything else lowercase in the future.
And Crag getting completely ganked here. That's a
5 bottom.
Push bot.
5 bottom. They're going to lose Drill and Windmill to neutrals at minimum. J4 moving up for the Refinery. When you see 5 people commit down to the bottom lane like that, split your people up, get areas on the other positions of the map. So it looks like they're going to pick up Drill. They're going to pick up Windmill. Are they going to get the neutral on Refinery? Yes, there's no one in range to contest that at the moment. Lurch is going to try to get in for it, but he really can't. And with high peoples there, with that Vayne, Lurch isn't going to be able to escape.
Oh, didn't quite get that kill with the last silver bolts there. But Jarvan says, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to pick up the kill. Leona's actually able to live. It's now Sauron 1 versus 2. He is Grievous Wounds. He is no longer Grievous Wounds, but it doesn't matter. Pantheon with that kill. They were able to get the neutral onto the Refinery. Arcrium now running away from Crag. Half-Hearted will be able to finish this one up thanks to some help from minions also. And People's coming in. Vayne is pretty effective at killing Singed, but Singed is probably just better at running away than anything else. And it is Exquisite with an ult that saves her for a little bit, but cannot save her for long enough.
Yeah, kept her up for a little while. They're going to get Refinery and Boneyard back, no problem. They kept this point neutral. And once all of these trades are done, they will be in control of 3 points.
Yeah, so the quest objective went over to Clueless there. But Enema back with the 3 cap in a couple seconds. We'll see if they can actually get the windmill. But that was a massive change of points in the past couple seconds.
Brown Bruiser hanging out at the top part of the map behind it, just waiting for his allies to arrive or for a good opportunity to interrupt, although interrupting 1v4 is usually not well advised unless your allies are very close by.
Or if they're like really, really low and you're Jace and you can just...
Well, yeah, I mean, if they're low, of course. But if they're low and there's 4 of them and they have crowd control, don't do it. They're still going to die.
Yeah,
I've seen
you're
that
just
before.
going to get chain crowd controlled. It's a bait. It's a trap. It's a trap, guys.
Brown Bruiser loves Ari.
Death Star is going to kill your entire planet. Poor
Yeah, you gotta
Alderaan.
watch out for that. And rip in peace, Alderaan. And checking the bush with the airborne. Exquisite doesn't find anyone. Wolfer there. Oh, the solar flare lands. Half-Heart dives in. And that's a lot of damage. Quickly picking up those kills.
The important thing is that they killed Janna before she could get any crowd control off.
Yes.
Generally very bad idea to focus Janna, but if you can 100 to 0 her like that, then it's actually completely fine. Nice Q. It's gonna stop Leona from being Leona. But Jarvan, oh my god,
gets him with the shock blast.
Double
Great job
challenge.
from Sifu being able to run him down. And Brown Bruiser and Exquisite able to run down Leona in the process. They're moving up to the top part of the map. They wanted to get that recalling Vayne, but were not able to do so. Exquisite goes back to capture the Refinery.
Oh my god, Crag! Crag and Sauron take each other out.
Yep, trading down in the bottom lane. And Sifu by himself, someone's going to have to go down here to respond to him. Who will it be, if anyone? Looks like Leona moving down there, and Jarvan. Is he going to get out fast enough, or is he going to eat that Zenith Blade? Nope. Umbrella Blade denied.
Nice awareness. Nice not having the shop open while recalling.
Yeah, don't do that. It's bad. Or, well,
You should
potentially
really not
bad.
have the shop open while you're recalling.
Yeah. Maybe he had open, he was watching his mini-map. Doesn't cover the
Especially if they
mini-map.
don't have a global ult, or they know where you are.
Half-Hard
like,
not going to be
ever.
able to secure that Storm Shield. Exquisite shouldn't be able to either. It's really contested right now. The Storm Shield gives a bunch of effective health and damage to your team if you're able to get control over it, and you really want to have that in fights. Especially on characters that can live a while to keep deploying the buff. Or anything that's long range can put it on safely.
Really dangerous right now for Clueless because they're 3 versus 4 in the middle of the map. Vayne's top right now is completely alone. The team is everywhere else. Nice stun there out of Wolfer though. And Half-Hearted actually is exhausted. He's gonna Spirit Rush out, goes down anyway. Leona is still in the middle of everyone, just wants to buy a little bit of time to pick up the windmill here. Now it's Vayne and Jarvan 2 versus 3, but I think they might actually be okay here. No, it's a double kill for Jace. Scratch that. Peoples is alone. And Vayne is not so good at fighting 1 versus the entire world, but she does get the stun down. It's not quite enough.
Half-Hard is able to arrive in time, and if Sifu gets a little bit too close, he could get destroyed. Exquisite throws down the auto attack. That good shock blast coming out from him is going to help pick that up, but his health and mana are both dangerously cheesy, dangerously dying to Jarvan's standard, dangerously having to deal with dangerous Janna.
But like we were saying before, Janna is great at delaying. Peoples has come back. And so I think Jarvan will be able to zone while Peoples captures or just clears out the minions.
That entire fight started because Vayne began capturing the windmill, which forced people to come up for it.
What am I saying?
Yeah.
I thought they didn't have
Oh
the
dear!
yet.
That
Wow.
blat on Vayne sends her straight back to base.
Completely deleted there. And so, okay, so I was saying it's a 3 versus 4, they have to be careful. They had all of their revives. So they just used the fact that they had their revive cooldowns. And that was actually a really nice play from Clueless.
Lurch Mao can do a little bit long range delay up here, but he can't really go in 1v3 on that. He wants to get in range to click to interrupt, but Half-Hard's positioning really denies that. Eats a taunt for his troubles. They are able to pick up that tower, but now he's being chased away. Looks like he can escape just fine.
Crag actually going down in bot lane thanks to a gank from Peoples. Saren, you're not winning hard enough. Let me come down and pick up a kill for myself.
Sometimes he needs Peoples' help. Brown Bruiser able to chase Ahri away from the Storm Shield. Good job. You want to make sure that she doesn't get that. Any champion with a Storm Shield is frightening. Pretty much every single one in the game.
Yeah, that's pretty true. And what's also frightening is being 1 versus 3 against a Maokai and a Jace who are that big, especially a Jace. Sifu Calvin, let me tell you, he is pretty terror right now.
And Gun and Wolfer's health down very, very quickly. Sifu wants to connect with Half-Hard, but that taunt is just too powerful for him to deal with at the moment. Exquisite is getting a lot of channel in on that ultimate. Crowd control having been already spent elsewhere, and Lurch is trying to muscle Half-Hard down as best he can. But Half-Hard is able to get back out of range. Twisted advance in on Wolferer. And Lurch Exquisite sustains, really doing a good job for him, but they're slowly starting to get low on health, and they haven't been able to put any extra damage on Half-Hard so far. Is Lurch going to be able to catch him here? Let's find out. He takes a taunt for his troubles. Zephyr lands as well, and Exquisite, gets in close. Gets a little bit of auto attack in, but the Howling Gale running.
Sauron and Peoples were just going around the map capturing absolutely everything. So they actually just picked up the refinery before coming up top to the windmill because the delay out of Half-Hard and Wolfer was so strong. Peoples, we'll see if he can chase John. I don't think so. Yeah, he's just going to give up there. Meanwhile, it's Krayok 1 versus 2 against Saren and Akiram over here by the Boneyard. Krayok probably going to fall. EQ, actually, he gets flipped on top of his standard, so there's a couple ways he can arrive at his standard.
I think this is one of the most ridiculous games I've ever cast. Everything's going a little bit wacky in this one. And Akurium is going to start turning this tower down here around. They've been up in Nexus Health for a while. They're holding steady at 102 right now against Cheese Enema. And oh dear!
So I didn't actually see it, but I can sort of imagine what happened.
Just imagine Vayne's health bar being, like you broke the side of the frame off and it all leaked out. Really fast.
That's pretty much what I was imagining.
Yeah.
Wolfer, we'll see if he can actually take down Brown Bruiser. I sort of doubt it, but he will be able to delay for a while. Exquisite's actually going to take quite a bit of health damage here from the turret.
Ooh, Jace able to take down J4. Doing a good job there. Turns his attention to Sauron and runs him over as well. Dies to tower damage, unfortunately. And they seem to do well anytime they can get Jace with them, but any other time they are not rocking it so hard.
Wolfer just lived for so long. so long.
Unfortunately, didn't get that. And High People's barely surviving Singed, and he's just going to heal up off the minions, because the minions are the equivalent of having a health relic when you're running around with a Sanguine Blade.
Yeah, pretty much. Just a little bit of life steal there. That was actually really close to bot lane, but Peoples is sort of getting to that invincible Vayne state where you don't really care because you're Vayne and you have a lot of damage.
Now, Sifu can kill both of these down here, but if he gets crowd controlled incorrectly, he's going to die. And that exhaust is nasty!
Peoples, though.
Whoa!
Wow.
That's what we call an exchange. And Krog now gets anywhere near Peoples' Vayne, and things start going bad for him.
Yeah, he has a Spirit Visage that's helping him against Sauron a ton, but he just doesn't have any armor.
That top
really
part,
needs to have a Warden's Mail if he wants to be able to do anything against Peoples right now.
top part of the map, Exquisite and Lurch holding it down for a while, but this is just tanks versus tanks up here at the top, and this is actually infinite energy if we could plug this into the power grid.
So Half-Hearted is working on the refinery. He's going to get ulted by Pantheon. Oh my god, he's going to get deleted by Pantheon is what I meant. Since the Q actually in the wrong direction got exhausted, the kill actually goes over to Krag there. Half-Hearted does not have a revive right now.
That final hour. Jace! Oh, man! Vayne's out of control.
Yeah, Vayne is... Yeah.
Well, what do you do against that? Crowd control is the answer.
You have to have one harder earlier.
But
that's really the thing with Vayne, is if you let her get to the state, 13, 6, and 13, that's pretty crazy.
I would not approve Vayne's passport to leave the country. That would be a disaster.
I know that generally we turn off the points captured and neutraled in favor of KDA because no one really cares about points captured and neutraled, but just look over to that. Sauron has captured 10 and neutraled 7.
That's pretty darn good, actually.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, if it countered interrupts, too, it'd actually be a really cool thing.
And Peoples is just... The Vayne mechanics are not enough for Singed, because Singed just one-shots him if he's already really low. But actually that was really a good play by Peoples. Managed to take down Lurch before going down, and the team might actually be able to clean up here. Jace is down. Jace is the major threat right now on the side of Enema. So if Clueless can take down Jace, they're actually in a really, really good position.
Now, Brown Bruiser also does a lot of damage, but Jace can deploy his a lot safer than Brown Bruisers can.
And right now, they're losing the windmill fight, but we do have Sauron. Again, he is just sitting bot, and that's why he is now 10-8, about to be 11-8.
Pushing really aggressively in for Windmill, and Twisted Advance onto Vayne. Lurch, I don't know how I feel about that. Exquisite's now going in, and High Peoples just has no shortage of people to try and kill.
Oh, the exhaust
is going to be cripplingly bad for him, and Pantheon's able to finish her off.
Yeah, that exhaust was absolutely necessary to deal with Vayne. That's pretty much how you deal with Vayne, is you exhaust her. Didn't go for cleanse this game, instead going for the exhaust for own.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Brown Bruiser there not able to connect with Half-Hard the way that he wanted to in order to be able to take him out, so Half-Hard was able to be a contributing factor to all of the damage that was being dealt there. Windmill wide open. Lurch is just... This is why Maokai is good, what you just saw. Just all of those seconds that he was live on that tower, giving to his team. Brown Bruiser and Sauron getting into an engagement, and Brown Bruiser just does so much damage, but as a melee champion, very difficult for him to engage against Ahri
the charm
or Vayne.
landed onto Steve Calvin there, and Jarvan, you're going back in! But it's actually Ahri who went down. Wow.
Well, the target priority was screwed up there. I mean, who do you kill?
Yeah.
Jarvan or Ahri? You get to kill one.
Both of them are one shot. And People's coming in to the rescue to take the windmill, but it's actually Singed in the bot lane, so he's going to be able to get the neutral on the Boneyard, I think, but not actually manage to capture it. She's not even going to be able to get the neutral, so they're good there. Brown Bruiser, the condemn into the wall, his stun goes down, and Exquisite.
You have to walk perpendicular to the orb in order to dodge it. So the bottom tower was kept from going neutral. That's true. Yeah. I guess he really didn't have a way out there.
Lose.
I think diving in to try to save Brown Bruiser was the part that got him killed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With Brown Bruiser down, I mean, that's pretty bad for him.
Oh, nice Never Move, denying the health relic. Sauron picks it up for himself. He gets flipped at the end, but manages to get the kill onto Singed. And now it's Lurch 1 versus 2 against Half-Hearted and Peoples, but he has a lot of help from his turret, actually. And Peoples has to back off very, very low from tanking that for too long.
Oh, Nighthawk is a mod kind of guy. He does some things like that. Uh-oh, Half-Hearted, you're gonna maybe dead?
Wooglets that killed him.
I like having BFT on supports. It saves your AP carry money. They don't have an AP carry, but hey, whatever. It'll help your team do extra damage. It gives you move speed. It's a good support item. Jarvan with the interrupt on Exquisite. And Lurch connected with Peoples. Lurch is trying to put him down, but I think Pie People's got more healing off of Lurch than anything else. He's going to heal off Exquisite. Also, Brown Bruiser, no! The Condemned.
Triple kill for Vayne. This is going to be a quadra kill for her. Just kidding.
Oh my god! Sifu got it!
Oh my god, that damage out of Jace. He's still alive. Sifu Calvin is Jarvan coming in. Jarvan should be able to almost misses the EQ there. Golden Aga's gonna slow for a little bit. Jace is life stealing for so much. Can he pick up the kill onto Jarvan? No, he can't. But I was all getting ready to cast that quadra kill, and then I was like, oh.
That was ridiculous.
Unfortunately,
ridiculous. They still didn't have any freaking towers. Downside. To try to keep control of the refinery.
Game, it is Clueless with the lead in turret health, Nexus health.
It looks like Half-Hearted may go down here. They're sticking to him pretty well. Brown Bruiser is going to try to finish off Wolfer. Sauron coming up from the bottom, though, could be the end of Krog completely, and that's looks like exactly what we're going to see here. And then losing control of that bottom lane in this later part of the game really made things not go so well for him.
Lurch getting exhausted, getting never moved. He will never die, though, because he's now sent to some infinite stasis that champions go into when the game is over.
Guys, this is why you get Jace. Jace is a very good champion.
Jace is really, really good.
Also, Cheese Enema was really good in the first 15 minutes, but then their late game kind of... let's not talk about that. That was awesome!
Really, how do you deal with a Vayne like that? How do you do it? Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Blade of the Ruin King, Sanguine Blade, Last Whisper. It's
pretty easy.
That's a 6-item Vayne.
You have a Pantheon stun and a Jace.
With no defense item. That is a 6 offense item Vayne.
Yeah, you really have to get that stun in on her or that airborne, and then just have Jace gun her down real quick. And the times where that occurred, they were able to win.
Oh my god, Vayne outdamaged Jace.
I don't tell me the numbers. I want to show them on the screen.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Gandair. That damage dealt to champions.
Let's minimize that. Someone has that.
High Peoples was entirely single target damage, and you consider the AoE that Sifu Calvin had. That Vayne.
Jace is a really good champion. And Vayne is really, really good with a team.
Yeah.
Late game, I mean, she can solo and lifesteal and crazy. But, yeah, Vayne-Leona combo is very, very awesome. Hey, Mr. Morgan247, thank you for being a sub. I didn't see that earlier on. Yeah, if you like the stream, go ahead and give us a follow. If you really like the stream, subscribe. We like that too. But yeah, that game was really, really good. I still can't believe Sifu pulled that stuff off up at the top. I thought for sure he was going to kill J4.
Yeah.
But Sifu had to step forward because J4 got around that corner a little bit. And then, well, that's it. And it definitely was not me, Nighthawk. I am not logged into the account that can do it. Also, thank you, Maloko, for being a subscriber. Hashtag least, hashtag, the most obvious sub on the planet. Well, we have a subscriber. Well, Molo's gonna sub. I bet he was like the first one. He's probably first or second. I wonder if we can see the number. If we could, we're probably not allowed to say it. Sins with the most time spent dead. Alright, we're gonna cut to a commercial real quick, and we're gonna jump into the lobby for this next game, so we'll see you in just a few moments.